Get ready for sports news and entertainment. All right, here, your 7 minutes with Simmons starts right now.
Departures and trades, baby. That's how she goes in the GOJHL this time of year. Welcome back to the show, guys. Christian Simmons here, your host of 7 Minutes with Simmons, welcoming you back. Happy to have you here and excited to talk a little bit about Junior B and Major Junior Hockey as we recap some of the signings, some of the trades, and the departures that have happened in the last few days, as well as dive into a little bit of, an interesting rule change. And we'll get some of your opinions on this and hopefully have you guys contribute to the conversation, join the debate on specifically the slew-footing rule changes in the OHL. And I thought that was an interesting one, but we'll get into that one a little bit later. Starting here early, first things first, how about the weather today? Anybody else notice that one? No complaints here. I'm happy to see the weather right back to normal. Had a couple of days there, a little bit of a weak stretch, nice and gray, uncomfortable weather. Wasn't exactly a fan, to say the least. And we're right back to where I'd like it to be, blue, crisp, little bit of clouds, and a whole lot of heat. It was maybe 27, 28 today. Could be a little bit better, but I'm happy to see the weather trending back in the right direction as we approach the hockey season, which is also trending in the right direction. We're getting closer and closer to opening night, and that's exactly the way that I like it. But let's dive into some of the content for today. First things first, congratulations are in order. Alex Forrest signs the big boy contract. He's heading to Kitchener, folks. And what a player he is. Absolutely deserve what's coming to him there. Dressing up for the Kitchener Rangers. He's signed his entry-level deal. And what a time for him to accomplish that. Just finished having an incredible experience at the Sutherland Cup. So this is going to only expand on his junior hockey experience, and I think it's going to be fantastic for him and fantastic for Kitchener when you take a look at what they're getting. A smooth skating, crafty, two-way defenseman who can do a little bit of everything. Not the biggest guy, but very physical, and I think he brings a lot of value to a Kitchener team that's going to benefit from a guy like that. And who wouldn't benefit from a guy like that? You're talking about a versatile, talented, and smart defenseman that any team in the OHL would be jumping to get a piece of. And, for me, what really sticks out is the skating ability. I think Alex Forrest, I watched him at the Sutherland Cup. The guy seems to just float up and down the sheet. He's gliding across the ice. This kid's skating hard right next to Alex, and he's gliding at the same pace. And I think that'll serve him well in the OHL. And huge congratulations to yourself, Alex, and to the St. Catharines Falcons organization for developing such a strong talent. We look forward to seeing what you accomplish in the OHL, and I'm sure you'll go on to do great things. And just a huge congratulations to you and your family and to Kitchener for the way that worked out. Fantastic. And we'll move on here, but tough to move on from a player like Alex. Just so talented, and you could talk about him for days and days and days, and love to watch him in St. Catharines. But also in St. Catharines, we talk Trent Vaillancourt. He's heading to Fort Erie, player development fee coming back. So exciting for Fort Erie. You take a look at their defensive core already, lots of skill and bona fide roster lineup members, and he brings just a little bit more presence, brings tons of experience coming from the St. Catharines Falcons organization, lots of playoff minutes, so hopefully brings a little bit of winning culture to a team that's already filled with it, and a little bit of compete here early in the preseason, which is never a bad thing to have those guys fighting over roster spots, and Trent Vaillancourt being a proven lineup player in St. Catharines will bring some of that presence to St. Catharines to Fort Erie. And, we'll see how things play out there. So really exciting for Fort Erie, and we'll see what St. Catharines has stewing. Still a relatively quiet couple of days here as we approach the regular season, but still lots of time, and the player development fee certainly will give them a little bit of breathing room to make some moves. But Trent Vaillancourt is now a Fort Erie Meteor, and that's more than exciting for Fort Erie as they continue to grow into the team we all know they're going to be. Definitely a Sutherland Cup contender. But let's get back to our third topic of the day. Talking Johnny Brooks in Hamilton as he takes a step into the Junior A circuit, joining the Oakville Blades organization. Huge congratulations to you, Johnny. More than deserved. Had a heck of a season last year in his opening junior year as a rookie. Played phenomenal. Big time shot on the kid, big time heart, and a bigger smile. Got to know Johnny. Really, really great guy. And I can't say enough good things about you, Johnny. And I'm sure Oakville agrees. A fantastic hockey player and an even better person, getting a great chance to go to battle for the Oakville Blades in the OJHL. So congratulations to you, Johnny. Very, very much deserved. But as we approach the end of this podcast, we're going to try and be on time today, which is a little bit strange for myself. Never really hitting that 7-minute mark. But let's talk OHL rule changes. And this is an interesting one for me. Slew footing has now been reduced from an immediate, that's a tough one, man. Tongue twister. I'll tell you, I get into trouble here on this podcast, man. You got to slow down sometimes. No caffeine for me. I'll tell you, that's the killer. If I had caffeine, I'd be stuttering through this entire thing. The episode would be 18 minutes long. We wouldn't get through it. Anyways, it has changed from an immediate match penalty to what is now an arguable 4-minute major. Now the way that they're listing this is it's up to the official's discretion. If they believe the penalty to be harmful or dangerous or violent in any way, shape, or form, the match penalty can be assessed. But it's been brought down to a primitive standard 4-minute major. Now, I don't really know how I feel about this. To be fair, don't really agree with it. If I'm being honest, I think there is no circumstance where a slew footing infraction should be penalized in a more lenient way. I don't think there's any scenario in which that makes sense, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Interesting stuff happening there. I know it's in the OHL, and it remains to be seen if that rule change will domino down the ladder of the junior ranks, and we'll see if things change in the Junior A circuit and, of course, in the Junior B circuit. And we'll sure to keep an eye on that, as well as keep an eye on some of the upcoming results. Couple of teams doing battle tonight in the GOJHL. We'll be sure to touch on those results tomorrow. Make sure to tune in, hit the bell, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the rule changes and some of these departures. Johnny Brooks, Alex Forrest, Trent Vaillancourt, you name it. Let me know what you think of some of those moves down below, and hopefully I can touch on them tomorrow. That's going to do it, guys. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll see you next time. Peace.